In this video, we'll be giving a short demonstration of remote visualization and interactive GUI applications through eQUEUE. So if we click on the Submit Job button in the toolbar, we'll see we have a couple of categories. And I made a category on this system called Desktop Apps. So that's where we're going to go. And inside of it, I've got a handful of different interactive GUI apps. So the first one being Desktop. So if we click there, the user will be presented a form just like the non-interactive job forms, and these are created in exactly the same way, and that you can watch another video that we have online about how to create these forms. So this is still a job that goes through your cluster and is submitted through your existing queuing system. So you'll be able to set parameters like maximum runtime, queue, anything that you want to build into the form, you have the option of doing so. I'm going to go ahead and hit submit though, just to submit a default job. So what's happening here is the job is submitted into the queue and we're waiting for it to actually launch on a compute node. And you can see it's launched, and what will happen is a file will be downloaded to my computer. So this will launch the Java Web Start component and download the remote visualization application to my machine. Since this is running under Java, it will support both Mac, Windows, and Linux PCs. And it uses SSH to tunnel all of the visualization system viewing through the system that's running eQUEUE. So no additional ports to open as long as SSH is available. It uses all the existing authentication. As you can see, it's prompting me for my password. It's already pre-filled out the username because that's the user I logged into eQUEUE with. So if I go ahead and type that, an SSH tunnel will be created through the eQUEUE host to my compute node. In this case, you can see it's node 01. And I get a full desktop session. So this is the GNOME desktop running on node 1 of my cluster. I can start any application, the calculator here, terminal, whatever I need to use my desktop for. Now, since this is running through the cluster, one really nice feature is I can just close the window. If I close the window, that doesn't actually kill off the desktop session. It's still running, but just disconnected. Now, if I go to Job Management here, I can see all of my jobs that are running. So I could log out of this computer, go home, go to another computer in a lab, what have you, and then I can still log into eQUEUE and see all of my current jobs. And you can see my desktop session here, and next to the trash can that normally kills the job, I have this eyeball. And you can see if I hover over it, it says connect to this session. So what will happen here is it will re-download the Java Web Start component, ask me for my password, and bam, connected right where I left off. So that's a really nice feature for being able to disconnect and reconnect to sessions. Now, if I am completely done, I can just choose to log out. I log out, the connection gets closed. If I go back to the job management, I can see the job is no longer running. So we don't have to submit just full desktop jobs. We can submit individual applications. I'm going to show you one particular application called VMD. This is a visual molecular dynamics code. It's used for visualizing complex molecules and structures. It does normally require a computer with a hardware 3D card, like an NVIDIA card. It uses OpenGL to do those 3D graphics. So I'll go ahead and submit the job. It'll run just like normal. And in this case, though, this job submission form that I've created actually is specifies a queue that includes machines with these hardware OpenGL capable cards. I'll go ahead and log in just like I normally did. And in this time, I'll see I'm getting a spinning logo in 3D, and that I'm running on GPU 01 of my cluster, which is a machine with this 3D video card. I can go ahead and to show you kind of how well the performance works, I'll go ahead and load in a large molecule here out of my home directory. So this molecule will take a second to load, but it includes over 1 million atoms. And then I can spin this molecule around, I can zoom in and out, and still get really good performance for drawing this very complicated visualization. Now, the really cool thing here is that this is not using a 3D card on my own computer, my computer, this Mac that I'm using to record this demonstration. It's using the GPU that's inside the cluster node and just displaying the video or the visualization back to me. So it requires no special hardware, nothing complicated, nothing unique on the actual individual machines. There's multiple levels of compression that can be put in place as well, so this will even work on low bandwidth links, as if someone was at their home or at a coffee shop. All of those things can still be possible. And we still get all the great features of being able to disconnect and reconnect. So I'll go ahead and start this molecule spinning, for example, close my session. Disconnect from my session, go to my job management, and I see that my session is still running. Click on the eyeball again, reconnect, enter my password, and bam, right back where I left off, still spinning and everything. So let me close this down. And one last feature that we can show you is the ability to associate files with sessions. For example, or files with forms. For example, this file right here is of a particular type, and you can see that we've customized this menu over the side, and you as an administrator has complete control over file type and extensions to applications. So if I click right here and click View in VMD, it'll pull up my VMD job and pre-fill out the input file. And if I would click Submit Job here, we'll start up the application again and preload the file. So a very unique, convenient way to get people to use interactive jobs on your cluster.